Hey everybody, thanks for joining me today. So today I want to give credit where credit is due. So when I first started metal detecting, I used a screwdriver and a knife, and my brother used a bayonet, which actually worked out pretty good. But so as we grew in the hobby and stuff, and breaking diggers and shovels and crap like that, we started, at least I did, I kept the hobby up. I started to look for more heavy-duty tools and stuff like that, because I was just getting tired of breaking things. So years ago, everybody was touting the Lesh knife. Get the Lesh knife. And I'm like, crap, that thing's 30 bucks. I ain't gonna get that. So finally, after a few more broken trowels and using soil knives and stuff like that, I went, yeah, I'll get that Lesh knife. So I did, and it was awesome. It's so much better than anything I had. Heat treated, would hold an edge. So then I started hunting with a guy I met online, and we found out we were hunting the same parks and stuff, but never saw each other. And that's dirt fishing. That's Bill in his channel. I'll put his channel down below, dirt fishing. At the time I started hunting with him, he had an E-Track, and I had a White's M6 and a AT Pro. And so he had found a deep silver signal. What he told me was a silver signal, 8-10 inches deep. And so I got both my detectors over there, and I couldn't get a peep. No matter how I run those detectors, I couldn't get a peep on it. So then he proceeded to start digging, and I'm going to show you what he was digging with. So I was digging with this, and he was digging with this. And this is a Predator Tools Model 31. And note the configuration of the blade. You see how it's curved? You know, it's about 3 inches wide. You can sharpen that baby up. This is an excavator here. This digger here, if you're just going to start from scratch and open up a hole, big hole, this is 10 times better than this. Now, there's still a place for the knife, but if you guys ever went from a mediocre detector to an E-Track, you'll know that you're digging 8, 10, sometimes 12-inch bullets, or 10-inch silver. And this digger here, if you're just an 8-inch hole, it takes forever. It doesn't take very long with this right here, and this is like 60 bucks. But anyway, so long story short, he was digging down. He got down to about 8 inches, and he was still getting a signal. And I said, it's got to be a can. It's got to be a can. Anyway, he eventually popped up a barber dime at about 10 inches, and I just couldn't believe it. So long story short, 2 weeks later, I'd sold both my detectors, and I bought an E-Track and this Predator 31 shovel, hand digger. Now the handle has broke through on the back, and him and I both had to repair it. But other than that, that's a heck of a digger. So then I thought, well, I'm going to try a shovel. And at the time, this was what everybody was touting, was the Lesh 31. I think it's called Samson. But anyway, it's got a 4-inch wide blade by 7 inches long. And it's 31 inches long. So here's the deal. So I got this, and you can tell it's not used very much. It's like 10 years old. Maybe it's 8 years old, 8 or 10 years old. But I'm 6 foot, and when I hold this in my hand, I'm bent over quite a bit. And when you put this in the ground, if you're digging up a 10-inch target, you have to take a couple of passes at it, even an 8-inch target. And also look at the shape of it. It's straight. So when this goes in the ground and you tip it, it's pushing the soil up against the other side, so it doesn't have a lifting motion. And that's what this has. when you bring this in the, when you put that in the soil, even though it doesn't have much of a curve, when you bend back on it, it has a slight lifting motion. So you go around, take 4 or 5 cuts, and you pop it, and it's actually lifting, not pushing against the other side. And you can dig quickly. I call this the excavator. So I knew that I didn't like this shovel, and so it just sat in the closet. I mean, you can see it hardly has any use to it. Paint's still on it and stuff. All right, so if you've been following me, you know that I dislocated my shoulder, and I tried digging with the Predator 31, and it put so much pressure on my shoulder that it was just too painful. So I was looking for a shovel, and I didn't like that 31, that Lesh 31 Samson, and I was looking for a shovel, couldn't find one, and I even went to the Predator site because I want a Predator tool shovel, and I just didn't see anything that tickled my fancy. I went on YouTube and typed in metal detecting shovels, Predator, and a guy popped up, Pay Streak Super Freak, Jeremy, and he was touting the Predator 24, or also called the Phoenix shovel. And when he was showing it, here's what I saw. Okay, so I didn't even know Predator made this, and if I saw it, it was a photo like this. So you can't tell that it has this same curve in it that the 31 has. You see? They both have that curve to it. And so I knew from past experiences using this, I probably used this knife 7, 8 years, this shovel, and I knew is superior to anything else I've used. And when Jeremy showed this shape, I knew that this is the shovel I needed to get. And then I started watching his videos, and yeah, he was making really nice plugs with it. So I thought, well, what the heck, let me get this, because it's got that same type of curve to it. It also makes it stronger too. But when now you see how much bigger that blade is. This blade is 9. I think I wrote it down here. Let's see, 6 by 9. So this blade's 6 inches by 9. So I can bury this down and get to those deep coins that I'm always searching for. Where this, I have to take a stab at it a couple of times. So much different, and also the overall length is longer. So now, when I set that on the ground, my hand is higher, and also it makes the foot, the part where you put your foot, higher too, because the blade's taller, and it's just, everything's just so much easier. And also this D handle, you see that D handle right there? I can tell that's homemade. George Lesh is making those. He's not buying those. And look how wide it is. I wear gloves, and there's plenty of room for a glove. It's just so much more comfortable than this silly T handle right here. This T handle, even though I've got pretty good sized hands, getting your fingers over it is just uncomfortable. This needs to be bent down right here so your fingers go in here. But either way, it's not comfortable. And so I started, when I was using it over here on the side, or putting my fingers like this, because especially with the glove, you put your fingers on here and you can't get up all the way. So having this D handle, you've got a nice grip and you have way more control. I'm still a little gun shy using this like in a park, but I think as easy as it is digging plugs and stuff, I think I'll just overcome that and just go to the parks, of course, when there's nobody around. Use this, be careful with it. But so if there is no doubt that those two shovels right there, because of the shape, are two massive excavators. And the knife still has its place. If you could carry all of it, it'd be great. But so I've been carrying this shovel and the knife, and it's been doing great for me. So you guys need to check out Dirt Fishing and Pay Streak Super Freak, Jeremy and Bill, and check out their channel. I'll leave a link down below. And until next time, take care.